Finally, some beautiful days are here in the 60s, high 60s. Um, it is Saturday, the 15th of May, and we are now moving to a new rung in our Kiva, the rung of hope. So we've gone from, what was it, faith, blessing, yeah, faith, blessing, and now we're to hope. Hope, to our rung of hope, coming out of our Kiva. The Kiva is a Native American sacred space. Go down into the earth to worship together. And so Stephen Charleston is writing. He posts these on Facebook, and then he has some commentary in between. So this is a post from Facebook. The first breeze. Don't let the dark clouds fool you. They may pretend to own the heavens, stretching from horizon to horizon, ominous and commanding a permanent shadow over our lives. But I know their secret. There is a world of sunlight behind them. One day, when the wind of change pushes them apart, that light will return to bathe the earth, to restore the vision of every person, to set right that which has been broken. Stand firm in what you know and believe. Look up and do not be afraid, for when you feel the first breeze of hope, the clouds will soon be chased from the sky. And he writes about that. In 1831, the world came to an end for my family and for all the families that were part of the Choctaw Nation. That year, we were forced off our ancestral homeland and made to walk on a death march we called the Trail of Tears. Thousands of our people died. We lost our homes, our way of life, even our graveyards. We lost everything. Everything, that is, except the one thing they could not take from us, hope. Hope kept us going, kept us climbing toward the light, even though the world seemed to be filled with nothing but darkness. Third on the ladder is the rung of hope, because hope is what emerges when you mix faith with blessing. I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm not talking about miracles. I am talking about hope as a tool to create light, a spark that can suddenly illuminate the gloom that creeps into our lives. The reason we have faith as the tinder and blessing as the spark is so we can have hope, the first flame of light in darkness. And this is one of his entries, Facebook. Sanctuary. In these troubled times, I know a place where fear and uncertainty cannot come, where confidence and hope still shine brightly, where there is room for every person of every condition to gather in safety and strength. That place is my heart. The princes of power who strut their moment upon the stage may rail against the others, the many others they seek to shun from the embrace of freedom. But in my heart is sanctuary for each forgotten soul. No truth will be swept away, no justice lost, no mercy gone ungiven, for I keep them all here in my heart. There they are secure until once more they are released to join what I know is in your heart as well, an outpouring of love, a fulfillment of the prophecy you already read in these few simple words. And he responds, the Spirit does not seek to establish a spiritually intimate relationship with us without a reason. Some people find this relationship with the Spirit and then mistakenly stop there. They come to the second rung of the ladder and want to stay put. Once they feel the Spirit's presence in their lives, they are content. They stop climbing. Instead, they build a comfortable spiritual cocoon where they feel safe. They are sure this kind of unconditional love means they are among the chosen. Through their personal relationship with the Spirit, they are saved. But this emphasis on a private salvation rather than a shared hope is a mistake, because it cuts short the next steps in our partnership with the Spirit. And this is from his a Facebook entry. No pecking order. Spirituality is not a competitive sport. We are never in a contest to see who has the most ethereal experiences or the deepest wisdom. Each one of us has had a lifetime of learning in the way of the Spirit. Every one of us has seen things, understood things, and discovered things that are both unique and profound. It is the collective voice that speaks the word, the community that embodies the sacred. We each take our turn being the source of what nourishes others. God does not have favorite children, and heaven has no pecking order. We are all worthy of respect, and we each still have a lot to learn. And he responds, hope is never exclusive. The love we feel in our hearts is not just for us alone, but for every other person who shares this world. We are all loved unconditionally. We are all in touch with the Spirit, even if we resist that pull on our emotions or deny the intellectual possibility of a higher power. We may pray differently, but we hope the same. As members of the tribe of the human beings, we hope for good health, for a better life, and for a bright future for our children. Hope is generic. It is unifying. It is the unseen bond that subverts our exclusivity and our need to build religious walls around ourselves. If we open our eyes spiritually, we can see evidence of hope in every person and place. And back to an entry. Signs of hope. The signs are all around us. We can see them springing up like wildflowers after the prairie rain. People who had fallen asleep are waking up. People who had been content to watch are wanting to join. Excuse me. People who never said a word are speaking out. The tipping point of faith is the threshold of spiritual energy, where what we believe becomes what we do. When that power is released, there is no stopping it, for love is a force that cannot be contained. Look and see the thousands of new faces gathering from every direction. There is the sign of hope for which you have been waiting. And he responds, one of the hallmarks of my Native American tradition is the understanding that personal spirituality is never lived in isolation. We may receive a personal message from the Spirit, one unique to us, but we never imagine this connection to the sacred is intended for us alone. When I say that after my prayers I listen for the Spirit's voice within me, I am claiming my personal space with the sacred, but I'm never saying this experience is for me alone. Any person who prays and listens will receive a response. Their experience will be as unique as mine, but the purpose behind it will always be to strengthen and to support the life we share, not only with one another, but with all of creation. The Spirit's vision always takes us down from the mountaintop and out into the world. Our personal relationship with the Spirit opens us to engage with others. In doing that, we begin with the one thing we share in common, hope. Hope is the catalyst, the tipping point where what we believe becomes what we do. And then he closes with this from a Facebook entry. Word of prayer. All we need is within us, wisdom, courage, and love. They were all placed there from the very beginning of our lives, stored away for such a day as this. Strength and insight, faith and vision, kindness and compassion. Everything we need to survive, to overcome, to grow. These traits have been prepared for us, entrusted to us. We have the spiritual resources we need, the gifts and the skill. We even have the key, a simple word of prayer. Open my heart, O Spirit. Open my mind and my spirit. Let me use what you have given me. Let me trust what you have shown me. Let me be what you have made me. Awesome. Open my heart, O Spirit. What a beautiful prayer for this Saturday in May. Open my heart, O Spirit. And let's open our hearts with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So, open our hearts, O Spirit. Open my heart, O Spirit. Let that be your prayer today, and see what God does with you.